Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanava. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Nepal and China signed BRI framework, 10 projects incorporated in the agreement. Prime Minister Oli calls on Chinese investors to invest in Nepal. Government apathy continues despite sellers charging arbitrary prices for medicines. Profit margins found to be as high as 400% after including bonus and commissions. Impeachment proceedings begin against South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol as MPs thwart his shock move to impose martial law. And Biratnagar Kings triumph over Lumbini Lions by 2 wickets. Kathmandu Gurkhas defeat Karnali Yaks by 3 wickets in Nepal Premier League. Nepal and China have signed the Belt and Road Initiative BRI cooperation framework. The agreement was finalized after 2 days of informal discussions between high-level officials from both the countries in Beijing during Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's visit. This has paved way for the official implementation of BRI that was agreed for in the year 2017. The framework was tabled yesterday during the meeting between Prime Minister Oli and his Chinese counterpart Li Qiang. However, the meeting could not decide on whether to include the word grant in the framework. Nepal had first tabled the framework draft on grant financing modality. The Chinese side had returned the draft by replacing grant with assistance financing. Nepal then proposed to change it to aid assistance financing, which was agreed by China. In a 12-point agreement reached late yesterday, the two sides had agreed on strengthening cooperation on development and strategies and deepening partnership on Belt and Road Initiative projects. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has been saying Nepal will benefit from BRI. Addressing a program in Peking University in Beijing, the Prime Minister also said China had been supporting Nepal with development works, and Chinese President Xi Jinping's BRI initiative would deepen the two countries' ties. Premier Oli also stated all political parties in Nepal was committed towards one China policy. He also mentioned that Nepal-China diplomatic relations was marking its 7th decade in 2025, and high-level visits would be scheduled that would begin a new phase for the bilateral relations. Prime Minister Oli opined Peking University could contribute to Nepal's education sector considering its strong history. The Premier also addressed a program organized by industrialists and business persons where he urged investors to invest in Nepal. Now, the BRI cooperation framework was signed between Nepal and China during Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's official visit to China. Under this framework, Nepal had proposed 10 projects, which includes initiatives such as constructing a sports and athletics complex in Jhapa and building the Amargari City Hall in Dadilthura.
Under the BRI cooperation framework signed between Nepal and China, the construction of the Toka Chahare Tunnel agreed in 2017 has been given top priority, followed by the Hilsa-Simikot Road project. The framework also includes the construction of the Kimangtangka Khandbari Road and bridge in Songkhwasawa. The Geelong-Kelung-Kathmandu cross-border railway project is ranked 4th. The construction of Amargari City Hall in Dadilthura, the home district of Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba, is ranked 5th. The 6th priority under the framework in the 220 kilovolt cross-border transmission line in the Geelong-Kelung-Raswagari-Chilimere corridor. The Madan Bhandari University, named after the former UML Secretary General, is ranked 7th. The Kathmandu Scientific Center and Science Museum is placed 8th, while the China-Nepal Industrial Friendship Park in Damak, the home district of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, is ranked 9th. Jhapa Sports and Athletics Complex and Amargari Sports City Hall are ranked jointly as the 10th project. Despite the agreement to move forward with these 10 projects under the BRI framework, it is unclear whether they will be financed as loans or grants.
Majority customers tend to bargain for better prices for most goods in the market. However, in case of medicines, buyers settle for prices set by the pharmacies. Nepal's market sees a transaction of 70 billion rupees in medicine sales, and a significant portion of what consumers pay goes to sellers as profit in forms of commission and among others.
Manufacturers and distributors have been taking advantage of buyers not bargaining while purchasing medicines and the government's apathy towards setting prices. There is also disparity between medicines of same formula. For instance, Rosicor 5 mg costs 227 rupees while Rovesta 165 rupees. Both are administered on patients with cholesterol issues. Esomeprazole costs 106 rupees while Esno 40 mg costs 150 rupees. Both are prescribed for gastro issues. There is a lack of uniformity in prices between manufacturers despite same formula, as the government has not intervened in price disparity. Back in the Nepalese year of 2066, some 15 years ago, the government had determined prices for 21 medicines, including paracetamol. 6 years later, prices for 96 medicines were set as well. However, this is a negligible number compared to around 19,000 different brands of medicines available in Nepal's market.
जुनमा मूल्य समायोजन भएको छैन, त्यो समायोजन भएको औषधिको सट्टा अरु औषधिमा मूल्यहरू औषधि कम्पनीहरूले बढाउन परेको अवस्था अथवा बढाइरहेको अवस्था छ। जस्तै एउटा उदाहरणको लागि लोसाटन भन्ने औषधि छ, त्यो मूल्य नियन्त्रित छ। त्यो नियन्त्रित हुँदाखेरि त्यसको 5 रुपैयाँ छ, अनि त्यसमा अर्को एउटा औषधि मिसाएको छ, मिसाएर अर्को औषधिको मिसाइसकेपछि 21 रुपैयाँ बनाएको छ। हाइड्रोक्लोरोथाइजाइड भन्ने मिसाएर 21 रुपैयाँ बनाएको छ। अब दुईटा औषधि अलग अलग किन्ने हो भने 7-8 रुपैयाँ पर्छ। त्यो मिसाएको औषधिमा चाहिँ 21 रुपैयाँ भयो।
One of the major reasons behind arbitrary pricing of medicines is commission allocated for health professionals to boost sales. There is also an increasing trend of deal bonus and incentive approach to raise sales. In general, pharmacies take up to 16% commission. They are also provided with offers like 4 boxes of medicine for buying 1 box. However, it is the consumer that is at the receiving end.
हामी कहाँ चाहिँ जस्तै बनाले चाहिँ 100% बोनस दिने सिस्टम, विभिन्न किसिमका बनाले उपहार दिने सिस्टमले पनि औषधिलाई महँगो बनाएको छ। सर्वसाधारणको चाहिँ बनाले चाहिँ ले खरिद गर्ने मूल्यमा मूल्य वृद्धि भएको छ भन्ने पनि गुनासो आएको छ र त्यसलाई पनि सम्बोधन गर्न हामीले त्यो समितिलाई भनेका छौं।
Medicines worth 70 billion rupees is sold annually in Nepal, of which local and international medicines have equal share of 50%. The Department of Drug Administration has yet to exercise its authority of setting the prices of medicines as per Medicine Act 2035. Although Minister of Health and Population Pradeep Paudel has said the prices will be reviewed, consumer rights activists express skepticism, citing vested interest of government units in doing so.
It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we asked you, what do you think of the empty suggestion boxes in government offices that were installed to collect citizens' grievances? 89% voted for option A, no trust in the process, 5% for B, rise in use of technology, and 6% for C, no information about the boxes. Here's today's question, what measures should be taken to prevent consumers from being overcharged for medicines? Your options are A, set the prices, B, monitoring and action, and C, manufacturers and distributors should be responsible. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. In our Public Voice segment, today we've asked in several provinces what should be done to stop the influence of middlemen in court. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
मुद्दा भएको मान्छे चारैपल्ट लिएर अथवा पहिला त गएको मान्छे पनि फिराद प्रतिदर लिएर गएको हुन्छ। ती मान्छे बाहेक अन्य मान्छेलाई प्रवेश गर्दिन दिएन भने चाहिँ यसलाई चाहिँ न्यूनीकरण गर्न सकिन्छ।
त्यहाँको कर्मचारीहरुकै व्यवस्थापन राम्रो गर्नु पर्यो।
बिचौलियाहरु बीचमा काम गर्ने मान्छेहरुलाई जान दिनु भएन। कुर्सीमा बस्नेहरुले पनि जनताको पिरमार्का बुझ्यो भने यो सता हुन्छ र भ्रष्टाचार चाहिँ टोटली रोकिनु पर्यो।
सम्पूर्ण सभासदहरु प्रतिनिधिहरु चुनिएर गएका हुन्छन् नि, तिनीहरुले कसरी रोक्ने? जनताको न्यायका लागि गएका उनीहरुले रोक्न सक्नु पर्यो।
धनी गरिब सानो ठुलो केही भेदभाव नगरिकन कानुन चाहिँ सबैलाई लागू हो भने यो सबै आफै सावधान हुन्छ।
कुनै शंकास्पद व्यक्ति छ भने त्यो व्यक्तिहरुलाई पक्राउ गरेर कानुनी कारबाही गर्नु पर्यो।
स्वच्छ छवि भएका व्यक्तिहरुको नियुक्ति, राजनीति भागवण्डाको अन्त्य भयो भने
राजनीतिबाट टाढा रहनु पर्यो। न्यायालय
भित्रैबाट नियम बसालियो, एउटा सिस्टममा चलियो भने बाहिर केही पनि उस हुँदैन।
न्यायाधीशहरु चाहिँ आयोगबाट ल्याउनु पर्यो।
मुद्दा लम्बाउने जुन प्रक्रिया छ नि त्यसलाई
छोटो गराउनुपर्छ।
न्यायपालिकामा हुने जुन कार्यपालिका र व्यवस्थापिकाको हस्तक्षेप छ त्यसलाई नै मुक्त गराउनुपर्छ।
यसलाई निरुत्साहित न्यायालयबाट नै गरेपछि मात्रै यो सम्भव हुन्छ।
Another arrest warrant has been issued against Rashtra Swatantra Party chair Ravi Lamichhane. This time the arrest warrant comes from Parsa district. According to Parsa Police Chief Kumud Dhungel, the Parsa District Court issued the arrest warrant against 14 individuals for mishandling funds of Sano Paila Cooperative in Birganj, including former DIG Chabilal Joshi and Lamichhane. Police have found evidence that around 80 million rupees had been transferred to Gorkha Media Network from the cooperatives during Lamichhane's tenure as Managing Director. Lamichhane also gave his statements at Chitwan District Attorney's Office for the second day today. He was asked 76 questions. Yesterday, he was interrogated for 5 hours. He was flown to Chitwan from Kathmandu. The Chitwan District Court had issued arrest warrants against 10, including Lamichhane, over allegations of mishandling of funds of Sahara Multipurpose Cooperative. Clashes broke out for a while between RSP cadres and police this afternoon in front of District Attorney's Office. Police resorted to firing tear gas and water cannons to disperse the protesters. 8 police personnel and 50 protesters were injured in the scuffle. 16 of the injured protesters were taken to hospital for treatment. Now, the Office of Controller of Examination of Tribhuvan University has gradually digitized its service delivery. In line with digitization initiative, the Examination Control Office has implemented a system to print and make available mark sheets of 4th-year undergraduate students at their respective departments starting today. The mark sheets will include QR code and digital signatures of the officials accessible on the Controller of Examination portal. Before this, it took over 2 months for the Examination Control Office to print and send the mark sheets. The new system aims to streamline the process, making it more convenient and efficient for the students.
क्रमिक सुधारको क्रममा हामीले चाहिँ के गर्ने मार्कसिट तयार गर्ने नतिजापछि मार्कसिट तयार गर्ने र त्यो मार्कसिट क्याम्पसमा पठाउन झन्डै 1 महिना 1.5 महिना लाग्ने त्यो समस्याबाट छुटकारा पाउनलाई अहिलेकै चौथो वर्षको नतिजादेखि नै विद्यार्थीहरूले सम्बन्धित क्याम्पसबाट प्रिन्ट गरेर मार्कसिट पाउने व्यवस्था आजबाट सञ्चालनमा ल्याएका छौँ। डिसेन्ट्रलाइजेसन साथसाथै विद्यार्थीलाई सहज अब जम्मै विद्यार्थीको हातमा मोबाइल भयो उले मोबाइलमै आफ्ना डकुमेन्ट हेर्न सकोस् भनेर यसलाई विस्तारित रूपमा सायद अन्तिम चरणमा हामी ट्रान्सक्रिप्ट पनि विद्यार्थीले आफै हेर्न सक्ने बनाउने सोचमा छ।
Arrangements have also been made for the Examination Control Office to directly obtain student result information from their respective campuses. Each year, the Examination Control Office conducts exams for over 400,000 students and distributes mark sheets. This decentralization of the office is aimed at improving service delivery and ensuring faster access to student services. Time now for international update. South Korea's opposition lawmakers have begun impeachment proceedings against President Yoon Suk-yeol over his failed attempt to impose martial law. The country woke up to an uncertain reality today after a night of unprecedented scenes which saw Yoon unexpectedly impose martial law. 190 lawmakers gathered to vote it down, and a sudden reversal of the decision around 6 hours later. Opposition parties plan to report the motion to plenary session tomorrow and vote on it between Friday and Saturday. By law, the 300-member unicameral parliament is required to cast a secret vote on the impeachment motion within 72 hours after it is suggested to the plenary session. The Constitution stipulates that the motion must be initiated by a majority of lawmakers and approved by at least 2/3 of National Assembly legislators. If the impeachment motion is passed through Parliament with a vote in favor of the impeachment from over 200 lawmakers, the Constitutional Court will deliberate it for up to 180 days, during which Yoon will be suspended. Yoon stunned the nation in an unexpected late-night televised address yesterday, saying he had issued the emergency martial law order to eradicate anti-state forces. The move sparked protests in Seoul and saw lawmakers rush to the National Assembly building in the capital, with the decree eventually being unanimously rejected in a vote earlier today. Yoon then lifted the order he had imposed a few hours earlier, giving in to lawmakers who rejected military rule. Meanwhile, President's close ally, Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, has offered his resignation. Likewise, senior members of the cabinet have already offered to resign. Parliament will have to vote on whether to impeach Yoon by Saturday. Elsewhere, French lawmakers will vote tonight on no-confidence motions which are all but certain to oust the government, throwing the Eurozone's second biggest economy deeper into a lingering political crisis. Barring a last-minute surprise, the French government of Prime Minister Michel Barnier is said to be the first to be forced out by a no-confidence vote in more than 60 years, at a time when the country is struggling to tame a massive budget deficit. In a TV interview yesterday, Barnier said he still believed his government could survive the vote. But the far-right National Rally, RN, made clear this morning that it would vote to topple Barnier alongside left-wing parties. The left and the far-right combined have enough votes to oust the president, in fact. President Emmanuel Macron could well ask Barnier to stay on in a caretaker role as he seeks a new prime minister, which could happen only next year.
Sports news.
Biratnagar Kings grabbed their first win in the ongoing NPL. Debuted Lumbini Lions were defeated by 2 wickets, awarding first 2 points to Biratnagar. The target of 192 runs was met by Biratnagar with 1 ball to spare, losing 8 wickets. In the game held this afternoon, Biratnagar's captain Sandeep decided to field first after winning the toss. Lumbini, that batted first, posted 191 runs on the board, losing 7 wickets, which was the highest total in the ongoing Nepal Premier League. Lumbini had a decent opening, however middle order and lower order batted brilliantly. Ashutosh Ghiraiya got dismissed in 15 runs, Arjun Saud got dismissed in 17. However, Captain Rohit played long inning, maintaining 67 runs partnership with Tom. Biratnagar lost their opener Ismat, scoring only 2 runs. Martin Guptill scored 28 runs and was bowled out by Durgesh Gupta. Lokesh Bam, however, controlled the inning with his brilliant batting. He scored 77 runs in a partnership with Bashir Ahmed. Lokesh scored 71 runs facing 47 balls. Bashir contributed 40 runs. Saad bin Zafar and Raymond Simmons took 2 wickets each for Lumbini. Sandeep was caught in his attempt to play a big shot. Durgesh took 3 wickets, and at the end, Seoul scored 14 runs, facing only 4 balls, leading the team to a victory. Kathmandu Gurkhas defeated Karnali Yaks by 3 wickets in an entertaining match of Nepal Premier League, registering their first win. They chased the target of 150 runs, losing 7 wickets, grabbing first win in their second match. Gurkhas chose to field after they won the toss. Karnali posted 149 runs, losing 6 wickets in 20 overs. Shikhar Dhawan completed his half-century as he was dismissed in low score in a previous match. He contributed 72 runs in total, playing 51 balls. Dev Khanal got dismissed for 0, facing 3 balls. Third man Chadwick Walton was caught by Karan Casey in a ball bowled by Namibian all-rounder Gerhard Erasmus. He contributed 21 runs in 15 balls. Young bowler Dipesh Karil dismissed Karnali's Babar Hayat in 13. Young all-rounder Gulshan Jha and Shikhar played a partnership of 30 runs. Gulshan, who was on 12 runs, was stumped by Stephen in a ball bowled by Erasmus. Arjun Gharti got dismissed in 4 runs. Zishan Maksud, who scored 14 runs, not out, and Dhawan played a partnership of 65 runs. He was dismissed by Nathan Sauter. Kathmandu's captain Karan, Sauter and Dipesh took 1 wicket each. However, Erasmus took 2 wickets. Karnali's bowlers kept Kathmandu under constant pressure till the 15th over. Kathmandu had only scored 86 runs when 16th over began. Opener Shankar Rana was run out, scoring only 6 runs. Third man, Stephen, was dismissed on 3. Kathmandu was 3 wickets down on 12 runs. Opener Levitt was dismissed in a ball bowled by Bipin Sharma, scoring only 22 runs out of 19 balls. Bhim Sarki was caught by Dhawan in the slip. Middle order batsman Erasmus got a lifeline when Sompal Kami missed his catch. However, Sompal took the catch in the ball bowled by Gulshan Jha after he scored 38 runs, playing 28 balls. Kathmandu had 98 runs on board when their 5th wicket fell down. They needed 52 runs in 4 overs. as Karan gave a life to the game when he scored 28 in 10 balls. Sumit Maharjan, who played 37 balls, contributed 40 runs. Karnali's Nandan Yadav, Gulshan Jha, Jason, Sompal and Bipin Sharma took 1 wicket each. Bipin was the most economical bowler as he gave 18 runs in his 4 overs. Kathmandu will face Sudur Pashchim tomorrow, while Karnali will face Chitwan on Friday. Now, before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Nepal and China signed BRI framework, 10 projects incorporated in the agreement. Prime Minister Oli calls on Chinese investors to invest in Nepal. Government apathy continues despite sellers charging arbitrary prices for medicines. Profit margins found to be as high as 400% after including bonus and commissions. Impeachment proceedings begin against South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol as MPs thwart his shock move to impose martial law. And Biratnagar Kings triumph over Lumbini Lions by 2 wickets. Kathmandu Gurkhas defeat Karnali Yaks by 3 wickets in Nepal Premier League. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.